break Max Cotton. Now here we go. 2E36 Oliver Randalu, who was unbelievable in qualifying, going up against Mevlud Meldze, who sort of got it together towards the end of qualifying.
Yeah, made it happen, and he had a gear shift issue, so could he pull that together? Look, so the heat indicator weighing against Mevlud Meldze, that's just the experience though. Qualification though goes to Oliver Randalu, who for us was just on an incredible form, absolutely flying. A little bit of a track clean up down the back end of the circuit, Dave, where both those cars they went off circuit.
I've got a little bit of inside information because you know, I've got a little ear on the marshals and the scenes behind the scenes. Our onboard cameras are shutting down due to heat. So it's that hot in those cars. Look at Randalu though, he is absolutely up and gone here.
Yeah, look at Randalu, no messing around, absolutely firing down the back end of the circuit, and Mevlud Meldze now is absolutely left in the cloud of smoke. Needs to it goes off circuit.
I'm not sure what happened there. It must have been a mechanic, maybe a downshift. I mean, that downshift again could have cost him. He had issues with that in qualifying. Has that, you know, reared its ugly head again, and just those gear changes.
Yeah,
some of these cars running sequential gearboxes, which is essentially like a, for very layman's terms, it's a manual gearbox that's like an automatic gearbox. You have to change the gear, but you know, it's a lot more, it goes up and down without having to move left or right. And that can be a big advantage, especially with those sharp transitions and downshifting. You just got to push a handle rather than find the gear. And you can see some of the guys with manual gearboxes struggling a little bit there, just because there's so many transitions and changes of acceleration and deceleration on this course.
Yeah, exactly that. And we can see Oliver Randalu, very nice dashboard inside that car, Dave. Is that too nice for a drift car?
I think, is that like, it's Alcantara
stitched?
Alcantara
stitched with yellow piping and stitching.
Yeah, I've seen couches not that nice in people's houses.
Yeah. There we go, some young drift fans enjoying the sun, enjoying the action here as Oliver Randalu pulls up to the start line to the chase position. Well, Mevlud Meldze having a bit of a mare this weekend.
Yeah, I think it looks to me like he's struggling with the car. We know he's got the driving ability. He's actually one of the tidiest drivers on the grid, one of the most careful line drivers, but he's just not being able to make it work this weekend. And I think it might be the car that's just you know, struggling a little bit with gear changes and shutting down. But now Randalu's going to chase him, and Randalu's very fast. So, you know, if Randalu's not careful here, he could end up with, you know, some contact. He could end up on even Stevens at the end of this run. So he's got to be a little bit calculated here. He's got to kind of, you know, stay close. Not have an inactive chase, but he's got such an advantage here. He doesn't need to do anything too risky.
No, he certainly has. Well, there we go. Get the thumbs up all round. The lights light up on our start line. Meldze screams through the chicane, and down he goes as Oliver Randalu takes a glance over, waits for him to initiate, and fires up onto the back bumper. Oliver Randalu, though, put too much angle on it. Has to think about it as Randalu comes down. Mevlud Meldze carrying a hell of a lot of speed down into the outside zone. Oh, and he gets it wrong. Just couldn't carry the speed.
I have to say, Randalu just stayed in it, and I was like, oh, there's going to be a big crash. He did not lift. He said he actually predicted where Meldze was going to end up and just kept going. Crazy.
Mevlud Meldze was absolutely flying though, and Randalu was with him, and he was like, well, if we're going together.
It's definitely an issue with the car. You can see it's the gear change, something up with that car. Every time he's got to change gear, it's straightening up or it's causing him issues. No such issue for Randalu. He flicks down the anti-lag switch on the dashboard, the very nicely Alcantara dashboard, and says, I think that's enough work done for one day, for 1 hour. And he'll go back up to get his result. I would say the judge is making an easy call on that one. Oliver Randalu from Estonia, he goes through to the top 16. Unfortunately,